Imagine losing the genetic lottery. Imagine you were born with crippling ADHD, an egg-shaped head with a receding hairline, a sister who does OnlyFans, and, worst of all, you were born in New Jersey. Well, popular Twitch streamer and Smite enthusiast Mizkif, or Matt Renato, doesn't have to imagine. The story of Mizkif is a story filled with love, hate, betrayal, and forgiveness. With a new influx of viewers leaving Mizkif's channel and thinking, who is this guy and how does he have less viewers than Hassan, I thought it'd be appropriate to make a video going over the rise, fall, and rise again of Mizkif. OnlyFans celebrity Emily Renato's brother, Mizkif, was born on February 16, 1995 in the Garden State of New Jersey. Mizkif's favorite thing growing up was to eat batteries and throw rocks wrapped in copper wire at power lines. And as he got older, he never outgrew these hobbies, and it was clear Mizkif was different from the other kids. One day, Miz's father was looking to make himself a peanut butter sandwich, but to his surprise, the peanut butter jar was gone. His search for the jar ended after hearing a loud barking from the bathroom where he found Miz, their pet dog, and the lost jar of peanut butter with a suspicious hole in the middle. This was the last straw, and his parents were tired of his uncontrollable behavior, so they made him find some healthy hobbies. Luckily, Miz's dad was a film fanatic and started to get Mizkif watching with him. This was good for everyone, especially the dog, since it kept Miz's goldfish attention span in check for hours at a time. Still, there was no telling what the future held for Matthew, but one day, everything changed. It was a beautiful winter's morning in New Jersey on Christmas Day 2013, and Mizkif was restless through the night. When he woke up, he was surprised and discouraged to see his brother and sister had so many presents, but he had none. His brother got a computer, his sister got a camera, and it looked like Miz got nothing. However, hiding under the tree, Miz's presents were finally revealed. There were 2 small pieces of paper under the tree, and before Miz had time to eat it, he was told there were tickets to Wolf of Wall Street for him and his dad. After sprinting to the theater, 3 hours later, while everyone in the theater had fallen in love with Margot Robbie, Mizkif, on the other hand, was inspired. After what could only be described as a Christmas miracle, from this day forward, Mizkif was determined to get into finance. Mizkif had been building a good amount of money from selling weed in high school, and inspired by the scamming and conning in the movie, Mizkif changed his business plan and started selling oregano to freshmen. With this new business model, he was able to sell enough fake weed to buy a black Dodge Charger and still have a few $1,000s left over. With this money, and business advice from a Twitter account named Wolf of Weed Street, Mizkif turned his $2,000 into $50,000, and eventually back to $2,000 again. And after being beaten up and robbed of the little money he had left by 4 freshman girls for selling them fake weed, Mizkif was now broke and knew he needed a more stable job. So, he got in the only thing he had left, his Dodge Charger, and drove to college. But with this new revelation, Mizkif had a problem. He realized there was something preventing him from having this life he dreamed of. That thing was his severe ADHD. However, taking from the themes of the movie, Mizkif solved his problem with drug use, and after 4 years of college and taking enough Adderall to kill a polar bear, Mizkif graduated with a 3.8 GPA and even had a job offer from one of the world's largest investment banks, Vanguard, so it seemed like Mizkif's dream was within reach. But how did this ADHD-riddled finance bro end up becoming one of Twitch's largest creators? The answer is Wildwood, New Jersey. During one fateful trip to the cesspit known as Wildwood, Mizkif's promising career disappeared in an instant. Mizkif and his friends had been having a great time on the summer trip, but one day Miz woke up in pain and unable to move. Thinking this was a result of a bad hangover from the pool water he was drinking the night before, instead of going to the hospital, he continued to go out with his friends after taking a long nap. Things didn't get better. In the middle of the night, Mizkif woke up coughing up blood and screaming, and was rushed to the hospital. After convincing the doctor he was not on cocaine, after some tests, the doctors found out Mizkif had something called viral myocarditis. It turned out that the Adderall, the drug helping his ADHD, was killing him, so he had to stop taking it. And with as bad as his ADHD is without it, he couldn't work at Vanguard anymore. Unemployed, and after going to Long Beach and back just to try to find a job, Miz made the tough decision that changed his life forever. He was going to start making YouTube videos. Mizkif's YouTube career began with an idea. He was going to make documentaries about streamers. These streamers would then react to the video and get even more publicity. The plan was foolproof, and after some encouragement from another creator, Glink, Mizkif put his plan into action. At the start of 2018, he made his first documentary on none other than Tyler 1, but the plan failed. Tyler never watched it since he was busy grinding League, but Tyler's better-looking brother, E-Rob, watched the video and found Mizkif hilarious. E-Rob had his viewers spread Miz's video and blew up the video and his channel. Everything was going according to plan. In the meantime, Miz continued to make more thrilling content with videos such as Who is Asmongold, Who is Ninja, and Who is Ice Poseidon. Many of these videos caught the eye of streamers, but everyone's favorite comfort streamer, Ice Poseidon, was so impressed that he offered Mizkif a job. Ice wanted Mizkif to come make a video with him, so he offered to fly him out to meet. Unlike Ice, Miz actually made it through the airport, and after Ice Poseidon's car declined and Miz used the last of his money for the ticket, they finally met. The video did not go to plan, and after being swatted a few times, Miz decided to just scrap it. But before he left, Ice asked Miz to go with him and film on an RV trip. And since Mizkif was a filming pro after years of practice with his sister, Ice asked him to keep doing it. And so the Cameraman Miz arc began. After months of quality Cameraman Miz action, his time came to an end in Horseshoe Bay. After the drama, Mizkif decided he wanted to change from being behind the camera to in front of it. And after some tips from Emily, he started streaming in his parents' basement. He had a decent amount of viewers at the start who knew him from Ice Poseidon, but once he started playing WoW, he lost all of them. He did not let this put him down though, and he started using things he learned from Ice and incorporating them into his streams. After realizing Twitch chat was full of degenerates, he knew he had to get girls on his stream. He started off putting pictures of ST Peach on stream, and this eventually evolved to having real women. After gaining some popularity, he moved to Austin, Texas with other content creators E-Rob, Valkyrae, and Russell, who he could now leech off to get even more viewers. However, Miz quickly discovered that these collabs in playing Marbles, Mario, and Smite could only get him so far, so Mizkif brought out the big guns. In a move that would lead to his most popular stream yet, Mizkif brought his totally real biological sister, Emily, on stream. The family reunion was a success, and you can see why. The two had a lot of chemistry, and Mizkif had finally figured out the formula for success, and it was only a matter of time before he became one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. However, Miz's journey to leech off OnlyFans girls had some hiccups. After a rough trip to PAX East, him and Esfand found themselves getting banned after talking with another streamer, Jenna. However, following the news of their ban, Twitch viewers overwhelmingly sided with Miz and Esfand, and they came back from the 7-day ban more popular than ever. However, his most successful leech had yet to come, and it was not even an intentional one. Maya Higa entered the Twitch realm at a pretty boring time, and she immediately dominated the scene. Everyone was a fan, and streamers far and wide were swooning over her, and Mizkif was no exception. After a valiant battle with Mitch Jones, Mizkif won the love of Maya. Maybe it was Maya's love for birds that attracted her to this egg-shaped fella, but nonetheless, the two were a match, and their relationship spawned many couple compilations, and brought viewers to both Miz and Maya's channel on YouTube and Twitch. Although the relationship came to an end, its importance in Mizkif's backstory cannot be undercut, and in typical Mizkif fashion, he was able to turn their breakup into his most viewed video on his YouTube channel. But that is not to say Mizkif after the breakup has been unsuccessful. He's actually been far from it. Mizkif over the past 2 years continued his meteoric rise to fame. He was collabing with huge streamers like Pokimane, Jschlatt, Aiden Ross, and even Slicker, which brought him even more viewers to his stream and channels. On top of this, Mizkif is a founder of a content org called OTK, which includes Esfand, Emaru, Asmongold, and many others, which helped him during his rise, and the group put on some extremely popular events such as Schooled, Parasocial, and Camp Canute. Camp Canute was their most recent big event, and it was some of the best Twitch content we've ever seen. It was not only entertaining, but also inspiring, leading many to follow in the streamer's footsteps and get off their DX racer and get in the gym. However, almost immediately after this event, and right when I was editing a video about it, everything changed. Mizkif's longtime friend Crazy Slick found himself in a serious controversy, and it was believed Mizkif was involved. It was one of the most documented controversies on Twitch, with many huge streamers getting involved, and since I do not want to get age restricted again, I will stay away from getting into details. However, Mizkif was kicked out of OTK as an investigation took place to determine his involvement. During this investigation, Mizkif took a break from streaming, and many of his fans wondered if and when he would return. Well, unfortunately, Mizkif did return for an update stream, which quickly turned disastrous. During the stream, he shocked viewers with his immaturity and blinded them with his forehead, and following the stream, Mizkif took another break until the investigation came to a conclusion. In the end, he was found innocent and was reinstated into OTK. After his second comeback, Mizkif was extremely apologetic about his update stream, and after the dust settled, he got back to work. He immediately returned to the classics on the channel and reacted to the top 500 Spotify songs as well as his viewers' TikToks. His consistency following his return has helped his Twitch numbers return to form, and after losing almost 70,000 subscribers, his YouTube channel is about to hit 900,000 for the second time. Since the comeback, his content has mostly stayed the same, still using Alinity and Emaru for clickbait, but there has been some changes, like making his TikTok prize wheel cheaper since Emmy has made him bankrupt, and that he changed his hair color a few times, and after realizing how gross it looked, he finally went bald. In the end, through the highs and lows, Mizkif has continued down his path of leeching and clickbait. Even after the controversy and stress, it is clear that Mizkif has a passion and love for streaming and content creation, and shows no signs of slowing down. Who would have thought that Matthew Renato, almost dying because of his love for pool water, would lead him to becoming, in my opinion, one of the best content creators on Twitch. Viewers love Mizkif not just because he's a jackass, or his egg-shaped head, but because of his innate ability to entertain. We see this as he's able to collaborate and befriend such a wide range of content creators, making everyone laugh along the way. And although he jokes about how he does everything for views, his love for his fans and entertainment is clear. Mizkif has been part of some of the best content on Twitch, and there's likely much more left to come. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing, and let me know if you think Mizkif can return to form on Twitch.